twin boys myself, I have truly enjoyed watching both of them grow and mature over the years. But I've been especially privileged to have a valedictorian in my advisory this past year. I was a member of the Honor Council. And as I can say here as a member of the faculty that we all will miss German Schabinetz very much as he charts his own path to Stanford. Please help me welcome our valedictorian, German Schabinetz.
Точно политик будет.
Dear all, faculty, staff, students, mommies and daddies, and all other attendees, welcome to the commencement ceremony for the class of 2018. I would like to warn you in advance about several instances of ill humor and deep life reflections that you're about to experience. Actually though, why am I even warning you? In the words of my math and physics teacher, Mr. Gerard Lynch, you signed up. Let me start with some quick yet important cliches. Buckley is truly an incredible place that the majority of students can't even dream of. So let's take a moment to be grateful for everything and everyone present here. And of course, for the angelic weather that I'll never stop appreciating after 12 years of Russian snowstorms and 2 of Florida's suffocating humidity. Sorry to all of my East Coasters, but we all know this. West Coast, best coast. Too bad it's this expensive here. For a quick second, let's travel back in time. Exactly 4 years ago, at my middle school graduation in Miami, my classmates voted for me to receive an award I didn't understand. Most likely to become the valedictorian. If we travel a couple of months later to the beginning of my freshman year at Buckley, you'd see my immature self lying on a couch doing something you won't believe. Looking up how to become the valedictorian, 15 steps with pictures on WikiHow. It was a set of bizarre step-by-step instructions where they encouraged me to do just about everything, and the funniest part was that it told me to get 8 hours of sleep every night. Don't know about that. Oh yes, I was encouraged to dream, both literally and figuratively, and I'm so surprised that the dream actually came true. In April, when I found out that I would have to deliver a speech in front of this many people, I didn't panic. That day after school, I was already thinking, what could I possibly say? After all, what would members of such an intellectual audience, many of whom have attended top universities and achieved great heights, want to hear from an 18-year-old without a high school diploma? Not thinking for too long, I, like an everyday teenager, decided to ask my best friend, who we all know, the brainchild of Mr. Page and Mr. Brin, Google. Yes, just like a good valedictorian, I conducted my research. And as I was reading many speeches and suggestions online, I'd like to pose a question to the Buckley faculty. Year after year, you probably listen to approximately the same content. How do you manage to stay awake? Sorry if I also bore you. At least in this speech, I promise that I'll use the words like journey of life only once. I just did, that's it. Let's get down to business. I was thinking about topics to discuss for some time. After staring at a blank Google Doc for too long, I just decided to spit hard truth at you. And here it is. I don't know if my talented, hardworking, outstanding classmates will change the world. Because the world is not like Buckley's schedule, you can't change it every year. But what I do know is that 77 ambitious individuals, including me, all of whom are going to continue their education at amazing institutions next year, are very, very, very privileged. And just a disclaimer, it's not our fault. We didn't choose to be born in rich or poor families. We didn't pinpoint the times we'd like to live during, and we didn't pick our nationalities. We aren't guilty of being privileged. We're guilty only if we abuse our privileges. Every morning, I drive into our school's parking lot to quote Rihanna, oh, 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 oh. All I see is signs, all I see is dollar signs. And that is our first privilege, money. Although this doesn't apply to everyone at Buckley, I felt like it needed to be said due to an overall wealthy culture of the student body. Money is a frightening force. It can easily get into your head. In 18 years of my life, I've already seen polar opposite examples of wealthy people. Some donate, help those in need, invest into education and arts and athletics. They use money for the better. Others use money to reassure themselves of their fragile invincibility. Although I've always been raised in a strict yet loving household, only when I got a job and started making minimum wage did I understand that each dollar isn't worth just a dollar. Each dollar is worth time, energy, and sacrifice. There's a stereotype that children from rich families are very spoiled. And while it's sometimes true, members of the class of 2018, independent of their socioeconomic status, are the most modest, polite, and genuinely nice people I've ever met. I urge you to stay humble. And I commend you, the parents, for raising the class of 2018 the right way. Our next privilege is our age. We're young. Don't get me wrong, it's hard for us young people too, okay? I, for example, applied to study at Stanford and work at Starbucks, and guess which one turned me down? And I really think it was because of my age and inexperience. All joking aside, I've had a lot of communication with adults since the 7th grade because I speak English a little better than my family members. And let me be frank, it's hard because you're not taken seriously. You're stereotypically forgetful. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, irresponsible and just dumb. But we, the class of 2018, have something priceless. We have time and teenage fearlessness. And the combination of the two makes us feel more powerful than ever. That's why today, along with thousands of other students across the country, I'm donating the next 60 seconds of the speech to take a pledge for our future. In the next 4 years, 17 million of us will be eligible to vote. That makes Generation Z this country's largest swing state. Not red, not blue, but human. And together, we have the power to shape the world we want to live in. So, today I'm pledging to vote on 3 basic human rights: equity across race, gender, and sexual orientation, safety from gun violence, and action on climate change. I'm calling on all high school graduation speakers across the country to take the pledge with me. If you care about the world we're inheriting, I urge you to text Donate 60 to 64336. Together, we can create a healthier, safer, brighter America. We are the adults now. Standard messaging and data rates may apply. And finally, the third and last privilege for today is living here in America. When I moved from Russia, I always liked to question the superiority of the United States. And I still do it, although not as vocally and openly. But I have to acknowledge something, and every time I practice this speech, the patriotic side of me shed a tear during this part. The United States is the most powerful country in the world, at the moment. We all have been lucky enough to have access to its resources. And I urge you to love and stay involved in the future of our country. Yet, don't get too caught up. Look outside, too. Strive to gain internationality. Read foreign news sources. Listen to people of different origins and backgrounds. Moving to a random place, 9,796 kilometers, and yes, I did say kilometers and not miles, away from home was eye-opening. Walk in an immigrant's shoes, visit places far, far away from your comfort zone. Put those credit card travel rewards to work. Take that semester abroad in college and start learning that new language or anything else that's forever been on your to-do list. Time isn't next month, next week, or even tomorrow. Time is now. Perhaps you'll feel ridiculously uncomfortable and scared, but my question is, what is so bad about that? So, what do I end the speech with? With the typical closing of my emails. Some thank yous. And in case you're about to zone out, I challenge you to think who you would think had you been in my place. Here we go, the countdown begins. Thank you to Fresh Lunches for keeping us fed, and to the maintenance and security teams for keeping our school clean and safe. We will forever respect you. Thank you to the administration and staff for keeping the school together. We will forever appreciate you. Thank you to our college counselors and teachers, present and not present here today. Ms. Plant, we're with you for making us better people. We will forever admire you. Thank you to our families. We're nothing without you. Because my mom is more comfortable in Russian, I'd like to thank her in my native language. Mom, спасибо тебе за все. Ты просто не представляешь, как много ты для меня значишь. А также спасибо моему дорогому папе и всем моим близким, которые сегодня здесь. And of course, thank you to the graduates. My finally Spirit Week winners, my fighters for integrity, my activists, my voters, my friends. I don't want to let you go, but I have to, so go and kill it out there. Oh, and if you really want to do something, just look it up on WikiHow. Thank you.